is up? Let's go. Let's knock out this week's PAFO Plus. Um, Another good show by those guys. I don't, I don't know what the time was because when I can click on it, it'll usually say 1:48 or it'll count down how long it's gone. It was stuck at 25 minutes. I know it was more than 25 minutes, but it was a nice length. I think it might have been an hour and 10 maybe. I don't remember. I didn't look at my clock when I started watching it, but watched it this morning and let's get into it. Um, I would suggest because KG, I know you edit them because you kind of work some camera angles and stuff like that. When you're editing it, you could have edited out the first 2 minutes because all you did was Zoe checking mic levels and headphone levels and trying to get Chris's headset to work and make it louder. And then your microphone got louder and your microphone was kind of loud throughout the whole thing. I'm sure KG could take care of that. But when you want, just edit out. Nobody needs to see you fiddling with your equipment for 2 minutes. Edit it. Still no pictures on the wall. I do know KG said that he hadn't hung up his pictures he bought. What about the ones I gave? I mean, I gave you a Talbot. Those Talbot paintings go for like $150. It's iconic with the dolphins jumping in front of the ships. That's what dolphins do. They kind of jump in front of ships and get I guess, the waves. But that's a nice one. And it's nice and serene and calming. The two pictures I took in Bermuda, calm, serene. The girl with the seashell, calming, serene. And that's what you need in that place. Other than that, the studio's looking good. Let's get some fucking pictures up. Not yours, mine. I know KG a couple weeks ago I talked about, he said dirtiest city in Illinois begins with A, and I think it was Sakamoto or something, began with an S. He did it again this week. I think Zoe brought up outnumbered. He actually asked, is there a T in outnumbered? OUT. How the fuck did you get into teaching? Obviously English wasn't one of your ones. It was Spanish, I guess, so you don't really need to know how to spell words if you're talking Spanish. But anyway, yeah, learn to spell. I just see where KG tried to butt his way into Zoe's bachelorette party on, I think it's Lake Decatur. I forgot some lake. I just wrote down Lake in Illinois. I think she said Decatur, Illinois. But anyway, don't. It's a girls' night, girls' afternoon, girls' weekend. What are you trying to butt your way into their bachelorette party? You got to stop. I just learned that Tessa bleached her eyebrows. Shout out Tessa. Congrats on the eyebrow bleaching. So we talked about Joe Perry and her tire. I think that was about a month ago. Hope he got it fixed. Then they talked about more eyebrow talk. I don't know where it came from. I think Chris was talking about plucking his eyebrows. I don't know. I take my razor and I put the nose trimmer in there, and I put the nose trimmer in there, and I just kind of go over the eyebrows with the nose trimmer, and it gets all the long hairs out. It's pretty simple. Girls got to pluck them. Chris, you don't need to pluck your eyebrows. Take your nose trimmer and just go over them. And KG put a fake scar in his. He takes his razor blade, he takes his razor, and puts a gash in his space in his eyebrow, so it looks like he's got a scar. Is that working for you? When you go on these 100 dates from Hinge, they talk about, oh, you're cool, you got a scar. It's not a scar. KG said he needed a spa day. You are turning more into a woman every day. I saw little clips. I don't know if it's something you and Zoe are going to do, but I saw a clip of you and her, and the title is Girls in the City. Are you actually thinking about doing a show with Zoe called Girls in the City with you? You're not a girl. Hey, you're turning into one. Talking about pedicures and manicures, and you need a spa day. I mean, you're turning into a woman. I just can't see you doing a show with Zoe called Girls in the City when you're not a girl. I think it's a great idea if Zoe gets some of her friends in her to do a show. Nothing against you. You're already doing two shows. You don't need to go into a third show when the topic is about girls and you're in there. Just my thoughts. It's not my podcast network, but you're not a girl, although you are turning into one. KG asked if anyone has ever had their asshole bleached, which the response was crickets. There's nobody answered, nobody talked. I think Zoe sang an ass bleaching song by a rapper. But then they didn't talk about it. Nobody actually asked if they got their ass bleached. That kind of topic went out the window. I know you were trying to get something, but nothing. I do think at the end of the show, it got to ass talk, but it wasn't about ass bleaching. So that question kind of didn't go anywhere. I don't know what the song was. Maybe it was Jay-Z because Zoe was upset that Jay-Z put a was it umlaut at the end of Z or end of Y. I don't. That was the topic. Jay-Z took an umlaut, and Zoe has an umlaut on her name. So don't be stealing Zoe's stuff, Jay-Z. I know you're a rich fuck, but you don't have to. You don't have to use a umlaut. Favorite conspiracy theory. That's always a good topic. The JFK thing, that's always going to be a topic. But I mean, I've seen some stupid things where people say Stevie Wonder is not blind. That's just stupid. Who, for their entire career, and a great career at that, is going to pretend to be blind his entire life? I mean, you could have made all that money you were telling just to walk on stage. Hey, everybody, Stevie here. You don't walk on stage with a cane and glasses, and you don't fake that. Come on. I know you gave some stories that Shaq O'Neal told or something, whatever. He's blind, motherfucker. Come on. You could have picked any conspiracy theory. If you really believe he's not blind, it's just stupid. More KG dating talk. This is like week 12 of that. At least you're listening to me. I give you credit for that. I said a few weeks ago, the Putt Shack shit isn't working. I said, just take her for coffee. A nice place for coffee, and then go for a walk somewhere and talk. What's he doing? He's taking her to get coffee, then they're going to go to Soulard at the farmer's market. There you go. Maybe this will hit. Maybe you'll get a third date out of this. You got a better chance getting a third date out of this than taking her to Putt Shack. The coffee and the walk will work. Just use your charm. You know, don't lie and say you're a big time media star. Just say who you are. You're a good guy. You're a good looking guy. Just be yourself. Coffee, a walk. I mean, if you want to, you'll probably get laid with that because I gave you the advice. So you'll probably get laid. But if you're not into getting laid because you're turning into a woman, I think the coffee and the walk will get you a third date. And who knows from there? Take it from there. I did like the heartfelt conversation about addiction and mental health. And let's not forget, this is PAFO is a fuck around podcast where we're having fun. And this is just having fun. But at the meat of the matter, the heart of the matter is, they're trying to help people who have problems. If you have problems, call the Illinois Recovery Center, call Chris. Zoe is doing something with Ash with mental health. So that's the podcast is to try and reach people and get the word out there. But we have fun along the way. But I did enjoy the conversation about addiction and mental health. So good job bringing that up. KG's trying to get Lilith on the program, and you DM'd her. I mean, I don't follow wrestling, but I know there's the AEW, there's a WCW or WWE, AEW, whatever fucking wrestling thing she's in. It's minor league. Go make a few calls and get a fucking phone number from her and call her. I don't think Lilith is the one that you gotta worry about a DM to get her to come on the show. Fuck, you're at the fucking event. I know Chris said he could reach out to the promoters. That's what you do. I doubt you're gonna get a DM back from this girl. just have Chris call the promoter, say we want to get her on the air. She shouldn't be that tough. She's in the Palm Beach League of Wrestling. I've never heard of her. Just let Chris take care of it. A little pegging and strap on talk. Kind of felt bad for Zoe because you read an article, and let me tell you something. I love the articles, but not everybody who listens to the podcast are TMA listeners. And I know we do that on TMA, read these Dear Deidres and the .uk, whatever, all talking about sex. But a lot of people listening aren't TMA listeners, I wouldn't think. So they really don't know where you're going with that. But it was a good story. And it was a story. It was made up. People just make that shit up. But I think he asked Zoe, would you take a strap on to a guy or a girl? And Zoe had the perfect answer. I'm not strapping on a dick and sticking it in anyone's ass. But it looked like you don't want to talk about bleaching asses, but you didn't mind talking about a strappy in the ass. I don't know. You guys have gotten to know each other pretty well. I don't know if that's a topic or a story I'd read about. And then ask the question, would you take a strappy up the ass or would you give someone a strappy up the ass? But anyway, I'm trying to read my writing. I don't know. You did jump into Sex in the City or Girls in the City talk. Again, I already talked about that. You're turning into a woman, but that's a show for women. Zoe, get some of your friends. The girl who bleached her eyebrows, get her on the show. Shower sex is overrated. That is just maybe the worst comment in the history of sex. Now, if you're in some shit little, maybe not in my shower, because I got a bathroom the size of my dick. So I'm not sure that would work in my shower. But if you have a decent shower, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, most people usually will take a shower before sex anyway. You both get in there together. The soap is sensuous. You warp the soap off their shoulders, their back, down their ass. And then you're clean. You have sex and you let the water run down, you're clean. You don't have to go take another shower after you have sex. You have the sex and then you're taking a shower at the same time. A bathtub, yeah, I've done it once in a bathtub. Kind of hard because the water's splashing all over the place out of the tub. Yeah, it's kind of well, to show you how big of a dick I am and how you get to 500. I was dating a girl who was a bartender at Cousin Hugo's in Maplewood, and her girlfriend was at the bar having drinks with us, and she got off work. We all went back to the house, and I went to bed. I had sex with my girlfriend. I went to go to the bathroom, and her girlfriend is taking a bath, and I banged her girlfriend in the bathtub. I am a prick. I really am. That's why I never had girlfriends because I just like to have sex. But we did in the bathtub. I guess we woke her up because she walked in the bath and started slapping me and just told me to get out and fuck you. And I don't blame her. But the water was splashing all over the place. The bathroom was a mess. So bathtubs, no, but showers, there's nothing more sensual than a shower sex. So to say it's overrated, that's a terrible comment. KG went shopping. I think we all do that, don't we? Shopping every once in a while, I get Instacart because it's too hot to go out in my car and lug groceries. I let Instacart do it. But for the most part, I like shopping. We don't talk about it. And then what you bought it wasn't a big shopping experience. You bought expired meat and some fucking fruit. I know you save money on the expired meat, but I don't want to eat green meat. I just spend a little extra money, get a fucking nice steak or some nice meat and a fucking expired meat to save money. Anyway, congrats, you went shopping. And the show ended with Zoe saying she would not use a strap on a guy or a girl. And they might have kink shame a little bit. I mean, I don't begrudge anybody. I would never take a strap on. And KG said, would you To a girl, it's a little different. A guy, I mean, why would a guy need to put a strap on unless you got a dick? So a guy would never have to put a strap on. If you did, it was weird. If a guy's wearing a strap on to have sex, for what? You don't need the strappy. You have a dick. The strappy is for women. Um, but for Zoe to say she'd never do it, it's not. It is king shaming a little bit. If you make fun of the people that do it, I have no problem. If you like taking it up the ass with a strappy, more power to you. Um, that doesn't mean you're gay. Some people just because it's not a guy doing it, it's a girl doing it. Maybe just like some guys orgasm when a girl sticks a finger in their ass. Maybe there's an erogenous zone in there somewhere. I don't know where, but there's an erogenous zone in your ass somewhere. So if a guy likes that and he has a girlfriend strapping on, that doesn't mean he likes having sex with guys. He just likes his ass stimulated, and he probably just because you let a girl put a strap on doesn't mean you're gay. No, if you have a guy do it to it, yeah, you're gay. Bisexual, you should have gay. If a girl does it, not necessarily. All right, there it is. Hopefully it works because I wrap crumbling them up again. There's a PAFO Plus for this week. I don't know what's going on next week. I know Chris is in Italy now. And I guess the one they played today was taped last week before he went to Italy. I told him last week, just knock a few out. You don't have to figure, what are we going to do in Christmas? Just knock a few out before you go. So I don't know if they knock out another one or it's just going to be KG and Zoe next week. I don't know if they're doing this girls in the city thing. If it is, Zoe bring friends in, and don't let KG be part of it. He's not a girl. He shouldn't be talking about women's topics. The title is Girls in the City. The title says it all. Girls, not girls plus KG. Girls. I know KG is getting involved with a lot of stuff. That's great. KG is a great addition to Pondoff's Anonymous podcast and network. He's on 2 podcasts now. I'm just waiting for him to put his way into the. Needed to hear that with Chaz and Chris. But you don't need to be on the girls one. That's Zoe and her friends. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment. Don't leave a comment. Tell your friends about it. Please subscribe. When you go to the YouTube or Instagram or Apple, Spotify, wherever you find this, there'll be a subscribe button. Just hit subscribe and you're done. It's like 10 seconds. You put it in your email, you're done. And then when we have new things coming up, like if they do this Girls in the City, you'll get a notification. Hey, new episodes up. That's all. We're not going to send you a bunch of stuff. It's basically just a way to keep you up and informed on what's going on with the podcast network. So please subscribe. It helps us out. Everybody have a good rest of the week. I know it's Thursday, but have a good Thursday. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Stay warm or stay cool. Like a fucking 100 degrees every day, like 110 heat index. It's a good weekend to be by a pool. It is 4th of July weekend, so everybody's going to be out. At least you'll be by a pool. I'm supposed to go see Kenny Loggins Saturday at the Arch. I don't know. 115 degrees, probably hotter than that with all those people. There'll probably be 100,000 people down there. It could be damn near 120 degrees index down there, so I don't know. But anyway, whatever you're doing, enjoy. Happy 250th birthday, America. Stay cool and have fun. See you next week.